Hello, my friends. By the time you're actually looking at this, you can tell that I'm pretty much doing this ahead of schedule because by the time I put this up, it'll be February, and February is that time in which you know it, you love it. Me, I personally cannot stand it myself. Black History Month. Yeah. To be truthful, I am not. I am not really black. I'm Native American. So therefore, take it what you will. So this one, oh yes, thank you. Yeah, this was how should I put this in layman's terms? Ryu sent me this article, and like I said, by the time I actually put this up, ooh, I would have words. But I'm gonna have words anyway. Pretty much everybody's gonna have words, and maybe not. I don't care. Because after how long has it been about civil rights? How long has it been since we heard about Rosa Parks and not giving her seat up for anything just because she worked her ass off and she just wanted a place to sit and she didn't want to move all the way to the back just because somebody wanted that seat. Well, times are changing again. You see, this comes from wishtv.com, and this article talks about a professor that calls campus police on a student who won't switch seats. I've heard enough about all I can stand about this, and all I can say is this, God forsake stupid. Let's read this, shall we? A Ball State University professor called campus police after a student declined to switch seats during a Tuesday morning marketing class. A Twitter video showing two campus officers in Professor Shaheen Borna's classroom generated hundreds of comments and more than 140,000 views. "Are you in class? Why don't you head out? I'm going to talk to you real quick," an officer says at the beginning of a minute-long video, walking into class and pointing to a student in the back of the room. Sultan Benson, a Ball State senior from Chicago, identified himself as the student in the viral video clip. "We have assigned seat," he told NewsAid. "Someone was in my seat, but instead of making a big deal about it, I decided to move to the back of the classroom where the professor said the open seats were. He even pulled me a chair up." Approximately 30 minutes into class, another student left, leaving an open seat in front of the classroom. "The professor asked me to move to that seat. And mind you, I have my book bag and everything already unpacked in my seat. My laptop plugged in and it's charging. There was no outlet near the other seat." The business major calmly declined to move and explained his reasoning, he said. Students said Borna responded by threatening to call for backup. "You can move or I can call the police." Benson and his classmates initially thought the marketing professor who joined university faculty in 1983 was bluffing. Okay. I'll leave my side comments until after I'm done with this. The rest of the class was like, "You're really going to call the police?" He stepped outside and called the police. Benson said, "I was scared I was going to get shot. I was going to get tased, beat up, or arrested. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know what the officers were going to do." In the video, a campus officer can be heard giving Benson another ultimatum. "Do you want to sit here or do you want to leave?" he asks. "Well, I don't want to move in the middle of class," he replies. "He just stopped the class to try to move me. I've been back here on this PowerPoint on my laptop." And officers asked if he was disrupting the class, and a choir voice said, "No!" "I really gotta thank you to my class because they had my back and they defended me," he told News 8. The student who recorded the video on his phone, described the professor's behavior as unprofessional. It wasn't right. Who requested not to be identified in the report, told News 8. So I felt like it needed to be seen. Of course. 3 other students seated in the back of the classroom were not asked to move. Benson, who's African American, believed he was targeted and treated differently because of his race, he said. He had known only Borner for several weeks since enrolling in his marketing class at the beginning of the spring semester, but said Professor made several off-the-wall comments he perceived as racially insensitive. Both State University officials vowed to learn and improve in a statement issued Wednesday. University representatives did not provide a copy of Borner's apology to News 8. Borner was not available Wednesday to speak with News 8, University representatives said. University representatives declined News 8 request for an interview. Okay. Okay, first off, as I stated before, it's been about what? Borderline, let's see, 60, 70, 80, 90, about 80 years. We're going to say about 80 years. 80 years since the Civil Rights Movement. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we've had this problem for quite a long time, and I feel in the interest of fairness that, as I mentioned, Rosa Parks, it's about the same thing. We're talking about we're living in a more advanced world, and yet you still got people stuck on racial issues or being targeted. It's about the same thing with what has happened in this last, well, in the first month of 2020. We're hearing talks of World War III, and then the coronavirus, and then, Australia, Australia's set on fire. And the last thing we got, which is the more recent one, is the death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter. And everything is being triggered. Everything pretty much is being triggered. At this rate, it just makes no sense. It's the reason why I don't do news articles. Because everybody knows that they're either going to get triggered for no apparent reason, and because of this shit, it's only one thing. Racism is alive and well. Now, for whatever reason that this incident happened in Indianapolis, I mean, for one, you're a teacher. And because I was a former teacher of Japanese and poetry, I've told my students, and even when I go back up there, whenever I tend to visit, I tell them the same thing. There is no right and wrong about poetry. There is no right and wrong. There is only, with poetry, there's no right and wrong. With Japanese, it's more etiquette than anything else. And etiquette means you treat your fellow man equally. That means when you bow to somebody, you bow to them with your eyes on them. You never do bow with eyes closed. You always do bow eyes open. That's showing respect. And even in school, what you say, you have to show honorifics. Now, what does this have to do with this article and what I'm talking about? Well, You're dealing with somewhere that really racism hasn't been handled like it should have been to the rest of the world. The rest of the United States have not learned that we're in a new age and racism is pretty much a somewhat dead and tiresome issue. But yet, there's still the fact that there are people ignorant enough to use it just because it might be the uses of power, you know. I'm the teacher and you have to do what I say. So if I'm telling your black ass to move, I'm telling your black ass to move. And I'm a cracker white teacher. I know what I'm saying and I'm telling you to move. I don't care about your desktop or your laptop or whatever thing you're using right now. That don't matter. You move up here because I want to talk to you. I want to teach you something. Mind you, in this day and age, it just reminds me of the time I was in high school. And in high school, when I was dealing with a whole lot of mess, one of my classes I dealt with a guy who was from the islands. He was a computer science teacher. And for those who don't know, yes, I've dealt with racism before. Very few times, but I've dealt with racism before. I'm pretty sure the only reason this computer science teacher just just didn't like black people. He didn't like black people even though he's black himself. He was from the islands, but he just didn't like black people. I was the target of such a situation in which I spoke to my mom about it, and she came into my high school one day. She had some words for him. She sent me on her way, and apparently, what she said to the man basically drove fear into his dirty little heart, gave me a little more respect than I should have from the get go, and I only did one thing. I was helping my fellow neighbor next to me with some notes that was on the board because he figures, oh, we should be fast enough to write all the notes down just so we can put them into a program and show how it's done. And yet, not every one of us has the same writing speed. I don't have the same writing speed, and I'm like, from where I'm sitting, I can look at I can look at everything, but the way he writes is so fast that I can't even make heads or tails what he's writing. And let alone the dude is basically erasing the notes at the same time as he's writing them just because, oh, you should have enough time to write them down while you're doing the program. Therefore, there's bullshit about it. But there was not campus police being called in for this kind of mess. Because you didn't need campus police. And mind you, if I were to describe how the class was, there's like, say, there was 90%, there was about 90% black, 10% Hispanic. The Hispanics were in the back of were in the back of us, and they were like the seniors. This is like around my borderline 11th to 12th year. So this is towards This is towards becoming senior. This is borderline senior level at this rate. So I'm dealing with this. It it did bring cause for concern because my mother was involved, and she told this guy off apparently, and probably in the nicest way possible. And at the same time, she must have had this demon aura about her because apparently she is being nice about it. And for some reason, my end result was getting a C out of the class instead of, say, a B. Apparently, his job meant everything to him, if not nothing to him. I mean, I've met teachers before that really didn't give a damn about their job. Mm-hmm. Yes, 40, yes. Yes. 40 said best in Discord. Another idiot professor. You like that? Yes! Yes, the grass is green! Yes, the grass is green! I have no doubt in my mind that what I'm saying makes absolutely no goddamn sense because really, like I said, when I put this up, it's going to be at the very start of next month because really, I don't give a damn. And thankfully, the end of the month is on a Saturday. So, like I said, this as 40 so eloquently put it in Discord, another idiot professor. Because seriously, you call campus police just because you don't want to move from where you are. You have an assigned seat. Therefore, why would you want to move from an assigned seat? You have your laptop on charger because you're doing an assignment, and at the same time, you're basically doing the following, which makes no goddamn sense. You're being harassed about this for no apparent reason just because you're not following directions. I have to tell you, at the end result of my almost senior year, when I went to my prom, I saw that same idiot teacher, and he called me sir. Let me tell you something. Goddamn, whatever mom said, to this very day, it happens to be one of my favorite memories because she basically told him to bow down. Whatever she said, 2 words, bow down or else. It is something that I can pretty much say I really can't say much except I miss my mom so much at this rate because she's that awesome. In her prime, she's that awesome. But seriously, you look at this, it's like, okay, you call campus police on a regular student who basically switch seats. It's stupid. And like I said, this is an idiot professor who's pulling the race card. Maybe it's just that he pulled the race card just because, oh hey, I'm white, you're black, you move your ass from back there to up here because I said so. And if you don't do that, consider your ass kicked out of the course. I've dealt with that was my cup there. I dealt with racism before. Only only a few times. And this is by far the most stupidest I've seen so far, because this is just one of those many instances I can only say, God, oh. So with that, I got nothing else except like I said, I'm saving this for the 1st of February, because whoever is going to come in and respond to this, make sure that when you do come in and respond, have some intelligence about you. Don't just say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, everybody who isn't the same color, they felt just a touch and just a twinge of prejudice and or racism somewhere around their life, in some fashion or form. They felt it. And let me tell you something. Racism is just basically a sad little thing that, even to this day, whether you're young or old, or somewhere in the middle, we're all going to run across it in some shape or form. We're all going to be affected by it, and it's never a good thing. And the only thing you can do is stand up to it. That's the only thing you can do. Just stand up to it. Say, look, I did not choose to be this way. God made me like this. So therefore, guess what? I don't care what you think about me. I mean, hell, I have friends of different cultures. Most of my friends are on the other side of the world. I'm the only person around here who basically, I'm basically the only Westerner, the only non Westerner in the group that basically is here. I mean, the only active Westerner in the group. I don't know about the others. Like I said, as far as video content is concerned, I'm the only Westerner that's making content. But I'm pretty sure there are others, but they've been so busy. But still, aside from that, in our little group, I'm probably the only Westerner that basically does stuff like this. Outside of Let's Plays, this is what I do, but I don't do it very often. So again, for this, yeah, I'm gonna post this, as well as you could take a look at this article for yourself, as this will be in the description box below, and tell me what you think about it. And please, if you're gonna leave a comment, please, as I said, let's be intelligent about this. Let's not go into name calling. I mean, it's 20 double X. Capcom basically called it what it is. It's 20 double X. Because we're pretty much going to see more double Xing as the months go by. We've seen enough already, so that's just my thing. Anyway, I'll see you with more great content. Later, guys.